Hi friends. So we are in this indefinite lockdown where we have to live a life which is very unusual, which we haven't lived before. But I'm sure most of you are able to cope with it well, and in fact turn this into an advantage to have a quality time with family, and together we shall all be able to come out of it safely and happily. Now there is a purpose of making this video because those who are parents face a challenge, the challenge of keeping kids away from screens. Now this is a digital age, this is e-age, this is age of screens. It's actually very difficult to completely cut off screen time from our children's lives because that is important. At the same time, we have to restrict the time. We have to make sure that they don't spend more time than needed. There are so many harms. The impact on the eyesight is perhaps the smallest impact caused by screens. There are bigger harms. Their physical fitness becomes an issue. Intellectual development. They find it difficult to, get along with others. They become social recluse. And with lack of physical activity, their immunity comes down. And since children are a bundle of energy, they need something or the other to do all the time. So if you are unable to engage them in physical activities, they will resort to screens because that's the easiest available thing. Those kids are very smart. You cannot just give them any task which your mom and pop used to give you when you were kids. So I just thought, why don't make a video, because I have been able to successfully involve them and keep them busy, keep them excited, keep them happy in certain activities. So let's start.
National debate over the role of vigilantism in American crime fight.
Kids fantasize the life of their favorite fictional character and try to imitate their stunts. So I just thought, why don't give them a chance? All we need is a rope. And if you don't have a hook like this, you can simply tie it up in any firm place in your house, and also make sure to tie knots all along. There you go. Here is my kid's another favorite character.
A lot of bees up here.
And since there are no wild honeycombs, I have used her favorite toy. Next is Alexa. It's a wonderful personal companion.
Alexa, what's the meaning of quarantine?
Valentine is usually defined as a card or message, usually amatory or sentimental,
Alexa,
but sometimes
I'd ask for
satirical or
quarantine,
comical.
not Valentine.
As a noun, quarantine is usually defined as a strict isolation imposed to prevent
The child could frown at her, even scream at her, and she will be quiet. So this is a lesson in tolerance.
Alexa, play the game Atlas of Countries.
Okay, here's Atlas. Welcome to the Atlas of Capitals of the World. Please
Alexa,
ask
Alexa, stop.
capital- I can't find the
Alexa,
song.
stop. Alexa, play the game Atlas of Countries.
Sometimes I feel Alexa does it purposely.
Let's
She
start
enjoys
again.
irritating my daughter.
You can start by saying the name of a country starting with letter A.
Austria.
Argentina.
Next is camping in the wild. Now, for a long time, my kids have been hankering for an adventure like this. Now, if you cannot bring a forest at your home, you can at least bring it in their imagination. So they have used this bed sheets and tape to stick together a camp. They are using a small torch to light inside, and here's the fan, a handmade fan, and of course Alexa will be everywhere they go. They have taken their big knowledge book and it's time to sleep now.
Alexa, open night light.
Doesn't matter if Alexa's night light is even brighter than their previous light. They know how to get the fun from the simulation. And when they think mom is in peace for too long, they love to shock her with pranks. Next is rope jumping or skipping. This is a very good thing for their fitness as well as long-term engagement. In the initial learning stage, they put a lot of effort, jump too high with very little outcome. Eventually, it should be as smooth as this, with jumping just enough for the rope to pass. Kids enjoy watching National Geographic. They are also fascinated by what goes on behind the camera and what it is like to be a wildlife filmmaker. This lockdown is a very good opportunity to simulate a wildlife filmmaker because a lot of street animals are roaming freely outside when there is no man. So my kids have been filming different birds, butterflies and cats. We keep a bowl of water outside for them and they act as if they are hiding near the water hole in the savannah. And before we move on to the final engagement, I'll quickly suggest two activities depending on your kids' prior interest. This is skating. Now Noreen is using her elder sister's stage 2 roller skates and she has picked up quite well in these couple of days. And the second is hula hoop. You can have a small competition between them with a timer on. With this, we move on to the final engagement. And it's very interesting to fall back on the age-old method of bedtime stories with some classic stories of our culture. I have been actually reading them this book, Tenali Raman. Now the story of Krishnadev Rai and Tenali Ram is on the same lines as that of Akbar and Birbal. Tenali Ram was a court jester and he was very witty and the king was very fond of him, and because of that Tenali Raman made a lot of enemies in the court, especially the other courtiers who were jealous of him. But he always wriggled out of the most difficult situations because of his presence of mind, because of his wit. Now your kids, as I said, they go to very good schools, they know the language, they can easily read and understand this. But if you narrate them with your knowledge, with your experience, you will be able to give them a perspective because you probably have a broader sense of history. So when I tell them about Tenali Ram and Raja Krishnadev Rai, I also tell them about the great Vijayanagar kingdom of the south and which geographical area it occupied, how life was at that time in that era. So they're very excited to hear this. So I hope you now have a fair idea of how to keep your kids busy indoors. Please like the video and click the bell icon to subscribe to my channel. And also in the comment section, tell me what other things I have missed or could have been added. And if I like them, I'll make a second part of this video and give you credits for the same. Till then, goodbye, thank you, and see you in my next video.